Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, we are going to talk about the Pokemon market. We are going to make predictions for the 2025 Pokemon market and talk a little bit about my business plans, how I'm going to navigate it. So let's jump right into it. I have a presentation, PowerPoint presentation. Haven't done a Catch 'em All Collectibles PowerPoint in a little bit of time, so let's get right into it. Predictions, reprints. 2025, there will be reprints, most, but very, very important, not all. I could be wrong. These are all just predictions, but I think history will bear this out. We are still within, so March 31st, 2025 will be 2 years since SV base, which is wild to say. I can't believe we're already 2 years into SV. Um, I mean, relatively nearing the end of it, right? 2 to 3 years is how long a block will go. But I think Pokemon just is faced with so many $150, $200 Surging Sparks knocking on the door of $250 booster boxes in standard, in rotation. Historically speaking, I've been in Pokemon for 10 years. I've been back into Pokemon for 10 years. Historically speaking, sets will remain in print during their standard rotation for the TCG, and that's approximately 2 years. There have been some sets that have gone fairly significantly more than that. There have been a lot of sets that never really got a secondary reprint, even within that 2 year time frame. Maybe their last print was their first print. Maybe team up type like situation. I don't remember exactly all the time frames, even though I was there. But yeah, I've always been one. I've always been one to know what I know and know what I don't know. And I do not know what is going to be reprinted. I do not know what's not going to be reprinted. I just buy a little bit of everything. If you look over, this is not the video for it, but if you look over all the last sets from the last 10 years, and I certain ones, yes, obvious things are obvious when you're looking at them on Monday morning, quarterbacking the game. Like, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's, yeah, this went up, that went up. It's always obvious in hindsight. But when you're in it, when you're in the thick of it, it's not always as obvious. I promise you, having been in it for the past 10 years. Uh, I was live last night with Retro, Nostalgianomics, and PokeNE. And at one point, Retro had us make a spicy take. Originally, within this, I called for in 2025, a box will double and a box will halve. After the past 2 weeks, the past month, the past 2 months, how much we've been booming. It's like, Dan, calling for a box to double, that's not extra spicy. That's the mildest take you can possibly have. So within last night's live stream, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. If I remember, I'll link it in the description. But or maybe I'll link it with one of those cards right here. I said though, instead of doubling, there will be a box that triples next year. So I'm talking from the January 1st, 2025 to the January 1st, 2026. TCG player price. I think there will be a box that triples, and I think there will be a box that halves. Will the box that halves, I'm not saying the box will have and it'll stay there forever and it'll never go up again to where it is. But I think within the confines of this year, 2025, I think a box will triple and a box will have. I do Japanese as well as English, so I am gonna give myself the leniency. Will it be a Japanese set that triples from January 1st to January 1st? Maybe. And again, these are all predictions. I'm not by any means promising or guaranteeing these are gonna happen. There's a lot of boxes out there. There's a lot of different sets out there, and I think if I had to, if Dan, you've got to guess. What are the guesses? Tell me. If I had to guess, I think the most likely to have is going to be Surging Sparks. I think there's a solid shot that the market could change slightly. We could get a massive reprint sometime spring, summer, fall at any point between now and the end of the year. And I could see a set like Surging Sparks being reoffered from distributors at 120, maybe going down 130, 140, not quite having, but getting fairly close to that, and then popping back up again by the end of the year. But I could also see it getting hammered with a few different reprints throughout the year, and then actually being 120 on January 1st, 2026. So I think a set like that is kind of low hanging fruit. That's like the most obvious. Do I think Evolving Skies is going to have from 1,000? No, not really. Am I surprised that it's at 1,000 already? Am I surprised that it doubled in the time frame that it did from 500 to 1,000? Yes. But do I think it'll have from there? Not really at all. Not really at all. I don't have much Evolving, and I'm not like making a major move to sell it right now. I'm not falling over myself to sell it in fear that it's going to have. So when I say a box is going to be having, most likely candidates are ones that are very high, that are very recent. Surging Sparks being the absolute primo candidate. That said, it might never get a substantial reprint. Could end the year up from where it's at right now, as wild as the Pokemon market is. One thing that caused me to increase my thing last night on the spot. 10 years I've been in Pokemon. If you had asked me any point throughout the 10 years, here's a sealed product. Where do you think the price will be in 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? I never would have said a number that was too high. You asked me in 2014 when I was ripping base set boxes, 2015, 2016, somewhere in there, I was ripping base set unlimited boxes for $720 a piece. I was approximately paying 20 bucks a pack. You'd ask me, where's that box going to be in 2 years? I wouldn't have guessed the low thousands. You'd ask me where that was going to be in 5 years. I wouldn't have guessed it was going to peak at a $30,000 box during the boom. If you would ask me when it was 30, what it was going to be 2-3 years from then, I would have guessed it was going to fall under 10. The box is like $18,000 right now. Stay tuned. Dan may or may not have a base set box coming in to be further discussed in upcoming videos, which I will talk about some upcoming videos that I have planned later in the video. But for the 10 years I've been in the hobby, if you'd ask me, Dan, what's this box going to be on this date? I always, every time, would have guessed too low. Maybe this will be the first time. Maybe this is the biggest top signal around. Dan's finally calling for a box to triple within a year. I recorded a short. Well, I recorded a live stream, and I pulled from that a short. 6 months ago on YouTube, I theorized that within the next year, I said I have no idea what set it'll be. Before Surging Sparks even came out, I said, I bet you there'll be a Scarlet Violet Era booster box that's $300 within a year. We haven't had it happen yet, but Surging Sparks, it's pretty near it. It's pretty near it, and it might get there. It might get there before it gets a reprint. It might get there and never get a reprint. This market's wild. It got me making wild predictions because I've always sold Pokemon short. So someday, if that comes true, if a box triples, and I had to throw a box halving in there too, just to disclaim the risk, and I'll talk about that more as we go through the video too. But if this hits, I'm probably gonna call for a box to 5x next year, and call for a box to 10x next year until I'm wrong. I need to be wrong to the upside at some point. So yeah, I just feel like I have to. And then stagnation. I think there'll be a lot of different products, and I will show a couple right here actually. I don't know which ones it'll be. I never know. Your favorite YouTuber never knows. We all show these charts, these lines. I'm not much of a chart line guy, but I'm gonna show a couple. Oops, I got rid of my face cam instead of getting rid of this. Yes. So I did not have it formatted properly. Well, like Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike just doubled. Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. In the past 3 months, it's up. Where did it start? 150. It's up 33%. 151 Mew UPC. It's up 30%. I don't know which ones, but some of these products will stagnate. There will be like dead money for some amount of time. If you look at a couple years of Hidden Fates, if you look at a couple years ETBs, if you look at a couple year span of the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection, I think a lot of them are great products. A lot of people who bought them early in the game did really well with them. One thing that I don't do, and I'll talk about this constantly on my channel, I don't really chase. I buy my wholesale allocation, and then if I buy more down the line, I'm buying. I mean, and sometimes the wholesale allocation, crazy as this sounds, in the 10-year history of Pokemon, the vast majority of time I've been buying boxes. Years ago, it used to be $82.50, $85, pre Scarlet Violet before the MSRP increased. Now I pay about $92.50 to $95, depending on how picky the distributors are feeling. If they know everyone's foaming over it, foaming at the mouth, they'll go more towards 95. I've paid as low as 90 as well, though. Scarlet Violet era products, so 90 to 95. So many times the market price is like 5 to 10% above that, if that. eFootball Pete, Safari Zone, whoever it may be, they're selling boxes for prices that I can't match because the market price and the wholesale price are almost matched. So historically speaking, like that's what the reality is of having a distributor. And when the prices aren't that, there's nothing to buy. So it's like a wild ride having a distributor. When everyone wants one, no one can have one, or the people that are in there, they're in there, but they're not getting much. So yeah, I don't know what it'll be, and I don't know exactly when. But the thing is, like, I'm not buying Fusion at 500. I'm not buying UPCs at 55. I'm not buying Charizard UPCs at 210. Every live stream I do, every Q&A I do, Dan, do you think Chilling Reign is a good investment? Do you think Fusion Strike? Do you think all these things at full retail are a good investment? For me, no, never. Never. I am never buying at full retail. It's better, like, and so many of the people that are asking me these questions, I know it. I know they're not paying 500 for Fusion, they're paying 550. They're investing with intent to make money without a resale permit, without the sales tax exemption. And that's what always just blows my mind. The amount of people, the amount of noise, the amount of hype, the amount of FOMO around buying in, chomping at the bit to invest in this stuff at 110% of market. No, I don't buy at 110% of market ever. I buy my allocation, which occasionally is between 90 to 100% of market. And sometimes, funny enough, I mean, sometimes I'm offered stuff through my distributors at higher than eBay prices. So sometimes on a reprint, restock, whatever, eBay is 117.99, and my distributors limit one box per week at 120. It's like, what is going on here? But anyways, let me continue on, not get stuck on that rant for too long. Some more predictions for the market before I'll come back to that rant, I think, in a further slide. Let me just make some tangible predictions for whether you're collecting, investing, flipping, scalping, whatever you're doing in the hobby. These numbers will be relevant to you to some extent. Not every number to every person, but one of these numbers to every person will be relevant. And I will stay tuned for next week. I will audit my predictions. I don't just make these predictions, put them into the ethos, and then a year later, like, not revisit them. I will revisit them in January of 2026, and I will let you know how I did. That's what next week's video will be. So stay tuned next week for Dan Made predictions on early January 2024. I will let you know how those went. So I think PSA won't be open for grading at $10 a card. There could be a special. So I put no $10 wide open PSA grading this year again. $10 to $12 specials with a floor of $12 for like a standard price. So as of right now, let me actually pull it up while I'm talking. But I've been making this prediction for the past few years. I know, shout out ZNG Emporium. James and I had a bet. I forget when that bet was, but I ended up winning it. We had a bet that there would be $10 grading open to the public. I want to say it was like early 2023. We made that bet in like 2021 or 2022, and I ended up winning that bet. And 2 years later, I'm still in the position where like that bet is won. It's still in the state of winning because we still don't have $10 card grading. So I'm on PSA right now, and I'm pulling up right now. We have $15 a card for Pokemon cards, TCG and non-sports bulk. Right now, the lowest price I see, I could be missing something, but I'm logged in, so I don't think I am. Right now, the cheapest PSA grading tier is $15 a card. So I think throughout this year, there will not be $10 wide open to the public. I would lean towards no. I would lean towards the best specials being $11, $12. I put down to 10 to cover myself to be safe. Maybe we see a $10 flat special, a $9.99 special late in the year if things are winding down a little bit, not booming quite as hard. But I truly think the open to the public floor price for like, hey, here's what bulk is, $12. I don't see it getting better than that this year. CGC, I could see coming down slightly. I don't even know. They play around a lot more with their prices. If their public price is 10, you buy a membership. There's a tier that you can buy where you get like $8.50 grading, and they do specials. They do deals with big high-end dealers. Not that PSA doesn't as well. PSA definitely will do deals with high-end, high-grading dealers. I'm not that. I don't grade like many thousands, tens of thousands of cards a month. I grade hundreds of cards a month, not tens of thousands. So PSA will deal a little bit, 5% off maybe a buck off the 15 in that vicinity for people at a massive level. CGC though will deal. They will wheel and deal heavily. BGS, I'm not quite as certain, but I've actually seen some numbers from them. They deal a little bit too when you get into the bigger volume. These days, looking at gem rate data, 20 million cards were graded last year, and I believe BGS went down year over year in their grading. PSA, CGC massively up. So I could see CGC and PSA coming down slightly in pricing, but I think one thing they'll do is I think they'll stop drastically. At some point, they'll stop drastically increasing their capacity. I don't think PSA will be grading 100 million cards in 5 years. I think at some point between, well, 20 million is the industry whole, not just PSA. PSA is maybe 12 to 15 million of that. But yeah, I think at some point we're going to see like the peak of grading volume and sheer number of cards. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe PSA is grading 50 million cards in 5 years. Maybe they're grading 100 million cards a year in 10, 20 years. Those numbers just kind of hurt my brain. But so does 12 billion. So does 12 billion cards, the amount of cards they printed last year. I'm guessing they're going to print 10 to 12 billion cards in 2025. We do get those numbers. So every July-ish, we get those numbers from Pokemon. We did get last year's number. Stay tuned for next week's video. I made a prediction last year of how many cards I thought Pokemon would print. and I will compare that to what they actually printed, because they do tell us that every year, the past few years, which is really cool. Immovable object versus unstoppable force. So I have been um characterizing the live stream rip and ship demand. I'm on pace in 2025. Not me personally, but Ponga PK. If I add more streamers in the future, I will be talking about Fanatics at length in the upcoming video 2 weeks from now. But over 100,000 packs. This small channel, this small business, is going to rip 100,000 packs of Pokemon cards in 2025. If I don't hire a third and a fourth streamer, fifth streamer, who knows? My business might rip 200,000 packs, maybe 250,000 packs. Who knows? We'll see where we go. But I don't know how this is all gonna fare. As of right now, in what the immovable object are. So the immovable object is the unprecedented print runs and the unprecedented mountains of product that are being printed and pushed through and invested in. The unstoppable force, though, is the unprecedented amount of live stream ripping. Two of them at the highest levels ever seen. Who will win? There are people out there that tell you everyone's investing. This stuff can't go up. Scarlet Violet can never go up. Sword and Shield boxes can never go up. Sun and Moon era boxes, XY era boxes can never go up because everyone's investing. I promise you, not everyone is. I'm investing more than I ever have, but I am also ripping more than I ever have. My business, not me personally. But like, I am the perfect way to embody what is going on with the immovable object versus unstoppable force. 10 years ago, I used to rip a case or two of every product. So a case or two of every product, that's 400 packs. I used to rip 2,000 packs a year, tops. 2,000 packs a year. I used to invest in 2 boxes of every set, and then it went to 2 cases of every set, and then it went to 4 cases of every set. And now I'm trying to invest in 40 cases of every set, but I can't keep them because I have the live streaming operation feed. So now I'm investing by the pallet more than I've ever done by far. Check out my pallet video I did with my dad. Well, my dad wasn't in that video, but he might be in a future video talking about it. But I'm investing with my dad in Pokemon cards. Top signal of all top signal. Since I started that investment operation with my dad, Pokemon has done nothing but boom. So top signal, we go up from there. When will the last double happen? When will, you never know. But yeah, that immovable object versus unstoppable force. Every time I see a new print run, every time I see a new massively high population of a card and a new high price for the card, that's what it comes down to for me. And I don't know who will win. It could fail spectacularly if the immovable object wins. If the print runs went out and the demand for ripping goes away and everyone's investing, including the distributors themselves, it could end very darkly. But as of right now, I only see pack ripping growing. I only see Fanatics, eBay making major pushes to become a larger player in that space. Everything Whatnot is doing, I see that continuing through 2025. And then MetaZoo. So I made a prediction last year. I don't want to spoil it, but MetaZoo went bankrupt last year. So I made certain predictions for them, which I'll talk about next week. But MetaZoo went bankrupt, and I said MetaZoo would outlive Lorcana. One of my predictions for 2025 and beyond, I predict MetaZoo will outlive Lorcana again. We'll see how that fares. Last video, I made some predictions about One Piece and Magic, and like, I don't know anything about One Piece, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, those things. I made minimal predictions towards them. Talk about them next week. But I'm not gonna add any new ones this year. The only one I'm gonna cheekily add is I've got my eyes on MetaZoo. Stay tuned for my MetaZoo Saturday videos. I don't know how I'll interact with it. I might be live streaming. I might hire a MetaZoo streamer solely for that. I might rip and ship. I might rip 50,000 packs of MetaZoo in 2025. I also might buy 1 case of every set as a consumer and not interact with it as a business at all. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if I will have access to it wholesale. I have 2 Pokemon distributors. I don't know if either one will carry MetaZoo. I don't know if there will be a partnership program. I used to be a partner for UFO Native and Seance, and I bought $50,000 of every product. I would do that again if I was buying at 40% of MSRP, while distribution was 60% of MSRP. If I had those advantages built in, if I had that ability to do that, I would do it again. But I don't know, so stay tuned. I'm currently waiting to see what's gonna go on. Key points for 2025. These were all guesses. This is one guy on one channel making guesses. I have never in 10 years made a prediction for Pokemon Sealed that was too bullish. I don't think I ever have for a slab either. I made a prediction Shout out to this card. You're gonna see some more videos on this. You're gonna see this pop on screen for every video, every live stream for the next ever, probably. But I made a prediction of this card. I thought the PSA 10 was gonna be $300 in a year later from the time I made the prediction. I want to say it was October 2023. And in October 2024, it was like $305 or something. The PSA 10. I guess the sealed was gonna be like $50 and the PSA 10 was gonna be 300. I guess I thought it was a lot harder to grade than it was. But whatever the case may be, I don't think I've ever even predicted a slab to be higher than it ended up being. Like Pokemon is just it's from the peaks. I would have told you when $1,000 EV was happening. I said this card's gonna fall 90%, 95%. I think this card will be sub 100 again. PSA 10 first edition Jungle Eevee's $200+ again. That's exceeding my expectations. When it was on the way up, I'm like at 300, this has to fall. At 500, this has to fall. At 700, this has to fall. And then I sold them for 800, 900, $1,000. I have constantly. This might be the year though. If it's not, praise Arceus and bless the hobby. That's one meme that I'm saying all the time in Discord. I don't know what's going on, but it is going on. I don't know who the buyers are, but don't ask questions. Put the label on and ship the package. Praise Arceus and bless the hobby. I truly don't know. Maybe 2025 will be the first time Dan makes a prediction that's too high. Let's do something fun. So just yesterday, James posted on Instagram. I believe it was my card because I have some for auction. I'm not sure. $1,000+ for this card, TGC 10 pristine. $600+ in PSA 10. Let me make predictions for these cards, and I have a bunch of these. I have about 200 left to sell. So, oh man, could that be $1,000 PSA 10? I've been battling with it internally because I have dozens of PSA 10s coming back at some point soon. Could that be $1,000 PSA 10? Could I sit on all of them to sell them all for $1,000 each instead of selling them for only 600? I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to auction them off till they're gone. But I think that card in a year, I have a vested interest against this. I think this will be an $800 TGC 10 pristine, and I think it'll be a $500 PSA 10. Between now and then, could it go to 1,000? Could this go to 1,500 in the pristine, and then drop there a bunch? Like, could it have one more double before it comes down? It would blow my mind, but I would have said that 3 months ago when I bought the case of Van Goghs. I would have said it would blow my mind if this became a $500 PSA 10, and now it's a $600 PSA 10. So I'm gonna make the crazy prediction that the Van Gogh is gonna double then halve throughout 2025. We'll see what happens. It's just one guy making guesses. I'm actually making a prediction against my best interest, saying that maybe you shouldn't buy these, and I never tell people to buy or not buy things, but I'm selling them. I was happy to sell them at 300 for a PSA 10, happy to sell them at 400, happy to sell them at 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. I sold many way too early. Same thing with my Evolution cases. Same thing with a lot of my Evolving Skies boxes. I don't chase. And I feel like a lot of people, it's like, if you didn't buy it, going back to the TCG player charts I showed a minute ago, if you didn't buy it, where were you? Where were you? I closed that. Here we go. So my big question is, like, if you're buying this now, where were you 3 months ago? If you're buying this now, Fusion Strike, now, where were you 3 months ago? What were you doing with your money? Why are you buying this today? Why are you buying the PSA 10 at 600 when you could have bought the $300 one 3 months ago? That's what always blows my mind. Don't get lost in the noise. Many choose to live in it. This is all noise. This video is noise. This video is like, I don't think this is one of my best videos, and it will be one of my best videos view-wise likely. If you look at my channel, whole channel, all my videos, sort of high to low, my 2024, 2023 market predictions are some of my best videos. And they're mostly just noise. They're a guy yelling at the sky, yelling at the clouds, get off my lawn. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. The videos where I'm actually like talking dollars and cents, buy this, grade it, make money, buy this, optimize the grade, make money, buy these packs, live stream them, make a certain margin. Those are the ones that like can help your business. These ones are just like, I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. We all might make a lot of money. Line go up, line go down. Who knows? It blows my mind. They're fun, entertaining for sure. Be entertained, have fun, but set goals, set smart goals. Do I have them queued up? Set smart goals. Specific, measurable. Do I have them? Let me see. Yes. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Set smart goals. Some people's goals are to have fun in Pokemon. Some people's goals are purely entertainment, education, whatever. I'm here for fun. I'm a collector. I don't care. I'm not doing anything with money. That's perfectly fine. Do things that advance you towards those goals of having fun. It's a lot easier when your goals are just like, I want to have more fun in 2025. I guess that's not specific enough. You need to attribute in certain percentage wise. You need to have charts for how much fun you have day by day to make it make sense. I'm actually just joking there, but do things that bring you to like me buying $500 Fusion Strike boxes. I could make money. Me buying loose packs at 70 to 80%, I will make money. I know that. I know that. Short term, days, weeks, months, I know what I can do, and I do that. Long term, many more months, years, I don't know as much. I know buying my allocation, sending it to my streamers, having a rip it on Fanatics, I'm gonna make money. I stick with what I know, and I don't do as much noise. I do have to make some videos talking about the noise, like I'm on YouTube, so it has to happen. My plan is to simply grow live streaming and grow consignments. If you want to consign, there's the rates. If you want to consign in 2025, if you sell cards through Fanatics yourself, you are paying more money to Fanatics than if you sell them on Fanatics through me. Similar to ZNG Emporium, I will sell a lot of cards on eBay in 2025 through James's eBay. If I sell them on my own, I'm paying 12+%. If I sell them on James's above $100, I'm paying 12%. Shipping fee that he charges, there's a little bit more than that. You're basically paying the same if you sell a $500 card. If you sell a $100 card, you're actually paying more like, I mean, $5 shipping on $100 sales, like 5%. So you're paying like 17%, not 12%. But that's besides the point, I guess. Above $1,000, 7% to sell a card. This card right now, I can net 93% through James's eBay. Those are the cards I'm sending to James. Those are the cards I'm doing on my Fanatics as well, because I'm paying less than that. If you can sign a card like this through my Fanatics, you're netting 93.33%. So you're only paying 6.67% in fees. But that's what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do in 2025 is what I've always done. I'm gonna make money where I know I can make money. Buy, grade, sell. Buy at 80%, stream, sell. Like that's what I'm gonna do. What I've always done. 4 to 5 events. I don't know which ones yet. I will talk about them when I know. I'm gonna go to 4 to 5 Collecticons. I'm not gonna vend. I'm not gonna vend Card Party. I'm not gonna vend Collecticon. I don't intend to. Things could massively change between now and then. But I don't intend to. I plan to go. I'll bring some of these cards. I'll bring some of the 5th anniversary Pikachus. I'll bring some big WotC cards. I'll bring some big PSA 10 ponchos if I forgot them. I'll sell them on someone else's table. I'll pay them well for their time to sell them for me. I'll go home with a little bit of cash in my pocket every Collecticon I go to. But I'm not going to vend them myself. I'll talk about that more in videos. I need to wind this down. This might not upload in time for me to get it posted by 1 p.m. I hope it does, but we'll see. I'm recording this right now at 11:20 a.m. Hour and 40 minutes to go as I'm getting closer to that by recording still. No more shipping B2C. B2C being business to customer. In 2025, massive goal for me. I didn't even know I was going to make this goal as of like 2 months ago, but it kind of hit me between a couple office hour chats, between a couple live streams that I had. I'm not going to ship on January 1st, 2026, maybe even on July 1st, 2025. I'm not going to be shipping any more business to customer. At least like, I can't say 100, like 0%. There will be some here and there probably, but most of my eBay will be handed over to someone else. Most of my TCG player already is. My Fanatics live streams are done by other people. I talked about maybe doing a quarterly live stream, a monthly live stream, a bi-weekly live stream myself on Fanatics. I don't see it happening. I am taking the foot off the gas to some extent. I am trying to set up other people to succeed in helping me under like independent contractors helping me do what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do it more passively. I'm trying to be the sourcing. I'm trying to be the face of it, I guess, on YouTube, on Instagram, and then be the sourcing behind it all. I want to be the one running the operation behind the scenes, keeping everyone fed with good inventory, and then paying them well to get it to the end consumer. I want that buffer between me. I want PK between me. I will ship PK thousands of pounds of Pokemon cards in 2025. He will ship them to the end consumer. I will ship 50 pounds at a time. He will ship 2 ounces at a time. Same as Ponga, same as Skya, same as anyone else I add in the future, independent contractor. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be able to in mid-July maybe. I don't have anything planned yet, but say I want to go to a Collecticon. We fill up the minivan, we go down, we do 2 days at Collecticon, and then we go do a week. We go to Hershey Park, we go to Six Flags, we go camping, we go wherever for a couple weeks. Last time I took 2 weeks off was my honeymoon, almost 10 years ago. And I'm looking forward, maybe it won't happen 2 weeks at a time, but I'm looking forward to, if I wanted to, not having to worry about, because a lot of the consignments through Fanatics, I can do that from my computer. I'm not going to turn off the consignments for 2 weeks. One day a week, I'll be doing the payouts, all that stuff. But from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, if I wanted to, on my phone, answer the DMs, answer the emails, pay out the consigners, and keep the streamers, ship them a pallet, go away for a month. They've got all the things covered. They got all the things sorted out. So that's a huge goal for me in 2025. Specific, measurable, achievable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So yeah, that's huge. And then I wrote this, kind of a weird thing to say, but it matters. Nothing is a good investment. People ask, is Fusion Strike a good investment? Fusion Strike is not one thing. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but it will make sense soon. Price always matters. People come into my live streams every week. Is Surging Sparks a good investment? Is this, is that, is that, is that? Most times, they don't say this part, but like, is Fusion Strike a good investment? At 490, it's a lot less good of an investment than at 80%, 85%, 90% of 490. And most people asking me, is Fusion Strike, is blank a good investment? Most people, I am going to take a leap, are talking about, is this a good investment? At full market price, on eBay, on TCG Player, on wherever, plus sales tax. No, if you're paying sales tax, it's not a good investment. It is, like, can it make money? Yes. You can buy a box at full retail plus sales tax and end up making money. Yes, you can go into the roulette, you can go into the casino, place money on roulette, and you can double your life savings. That was not a good investment. You made money, but you did something bad. Bad you. You were trying to make money in the hobby and you are paying sales tax. Stop it. Stop it. You're bad. Watch my video that I will link above on the biggest mistake investors make. The biggest mistake investors make is not doing this thing as a business, not getting sales tax exemption, not considering the fact that entry point is everything. In investment, entry point is everything. The $500 Fusion Strike box is the same box as it was 3 months ago at $250. The $500 box might make money, but it's a significantly worse buy than the $250 box. And people get fed into this FOMO cycle based off the thumbnails, based off the titles, based off all the stuff talked about on YouTube. If a box doubles, if a card doubles, and none of the other fundamentals fundamentally change, you should want it less. But people are not smart, and people want it more. Price goes up, I want it more. Price goes down, that's garbage, it's headed to zero, I don't want it anymore. It should be the opposite. And for people who know what they're doing, it is. But for the majority of people who have no idea what they're doing, paying sales tax on investments, trying to make money, not doing things above board, it's I'm gonna end the rant there so I can get this thing uploaded in time. Let me continue on. Closing. Upcoming videos. So that is all my major predictions for 2025. It's gonna be a wild year. Big ups, big downs, rocket emojis, red lines, green lines, every which way. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. I put my head down. I feed the live streamers. I do what I gotta do. I work in the known, and I make money where I know I can make money. But I also throw together a pallet of Pokemon cards. I also invest and speculate in this stuff. It is fun. I get it. But like, know what you're doing. Do things that lead you towards those goals. And yeah, 2024 prediction audit is going to be my video in 1 week. I have like my next 5 or 6 videos mapped out entirely. 1 week from now, I made the same video last year. I will audit this video. Every single prediction I made, every line, some right, some wrong, some somewhere in between. I will do that all next week. Stay tuned. Live stream 90-day recap. So teasing big live streaming news. I talked about it 25 minutes ago in this video. There's big live streaming news to come regarding some big items, regarding some relative frequency throughout 2025 as long as the market will bear it, as long as it goes well. I'm very excited for that. Stay tuned. So 1 week from today, 2024 prediction audit. 2 weeks from today, live stream 90-day recap. I'm recording this on January 6th, the day that you're watching it. You're watching it when it comes out. Just over 90 days ago, I believe it was October 4th, PK and I did a live stream in this room. And I'm going to be live streaming with him in his room in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for more information on that. He'll have more information for that. I'll have more information for that between now and when it happens. But I will be doing a recap of how all the live streaming has gone, and I will talk about what's to come and what the plans are and why I'm going I'm not going all in on live streaming. I'm still going to be doing some lab optimization. I'm still going to be buying cases of very highly liquid, highly popular Pokemon cards. If you've got any, feel free to reach out to me to sell to me. 3 weeks from now, it will be a 2024 sales purchase recap. I usually don't. If I give you everything I bought and everything I sold, I just gave you my taxes. I told you exactly how much money I made, right? I'm not going to give you the whole equation. Sometimes I've given you the sell side. Sometimes I've given you the buy side. I don't know which one. I need to do it for my taxes anyways. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to start doing my taxes. And 3 weeks from today, I will share that with you. One side of it, one part of it. I'll talk about goals for 2025. I set certain, I want to sell this much on eBay, this much on Fanatics, this much on live streaming. I'll give you all that in 3 weeks. And then sometime in February, I don't know if it'll be the first one in February. It probably will be. But I'm going to do a full recap on this play. I bought 400 of these with John. You will know where every one of the 400 went. They might not be fully sold by then, but they will mostly be sold. And you will know where everyone went. You will know what grade everyone got. You will know how many were sold sealed, how many were sold raw, how many were live streamed. You will know where every single one went. And if it's still available for sale, I will tell you, there's 7 coming up at Z&G Emporium over the next 4 weeks, and there's 12 coming up through Fanatics over the next 4 weeks. I will tell you where all of them went. So a full-fledged audit and how much money we made, how much money's left to be made, all that stuff. So I'm very excited for 2025. I'm very excited for the next 4 videos I'm going to make. If you're here for it, if you're here along for the ride, click that like button, click that subscribe button. If you want to consign cards, feel free to reach out. If you want to sell cards to me, feel free to reach out. But yeah, whatever the case may be, I'm here for Pokemon. You're here for Pokemon. We're all here in this together. Let's see where 2025 takes us. I appreciate you all watching. I will catch you all later.